Today I'm making soap. And soap is basically a bunch of different kinds of oils and animal fats or whatever you choose, but it's basically an oil. And then you add lye to it, which causes a chemical reaction called saponification. Don't ask me how it works, don't ask me for the breakdown. But anyway, that is what happens. It saponifies, and then before you put it in its form, you add your coloring and your different kinds of scents. Usually it's more essential oils. But anyway, this is the first step, is to heat up all the fats. So in this particular batch, I have coconut oil, beef tallow, cocoa butter, mango butter, and olive oil. Anyway, this is the first step. I'll melt that down. All my oils are melted, and right now we're about 200 degrees. I'll wait till about we get to about 150 degrees, and then I will stir my lye mixture together outside. My oils have cooled off to 150 degrees. It took about a half hour. And now I'm going to pour my lye into my water and aloe solution. You need to be careful. I've got my gloves on. The lye can burn you pretty good, so I don't know how I'm going to do this while holding the camera, so I'm going to turn it off. So I've dumped the lye into the aloe and water mixture, and now I'm just going to stir it up. And let me tell you what the temperature is. Well, right now it's 150, and that's generally 152. So that's generally where it starts. And so I'll let them both cool off to between 110 and 100 degrees, and then I add them together. Both my oil and my lye water has reached the temperature that I desire. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the lye water using the wand blender. I'm just going to pour it right along the wand blender so it doesn't splash. And I still have on my gloves because the stuff will burn. Okay, and then I mix it up for about a minute using my wand blender. So I checked the trace, you could see it's almost like a buttermilk type consistency on the blender, and it traces along the thing. We want it to be about there. I'm going to give it another couple seconds of blending. Okay, I'm going to let that rest a couple seconds, and then I'll be right back. All right, now I'm going to add the essential oils, which in this case I'm adding sandalwood and myrrh, which is two of my favorite scents ever. So I just pour them in, and I give it another 30 seconds or so with the stick blender. Okay, and then I'm going to add color, which in this case is nettle. I try not to use any like artificial colors or anything like that. So in this case it's nettle, which is good for your skin. And I've got it pre-measured if I can get out of the bag. And I'm just going to dump it in. And I think I'm going to use a whisk. Oops, sorry, I'm out of frame here. I'm going to use a whisk to dump that, or to mix that together. So I'll take this out. Put that in my cup here. I'm going to stir this in. Nice color of green. Oh yeah, that looks good. Can you see it? Looks like it's blended it pretty well. It's kind of fun to have little spots in there anyway, because it makes it look more homemade, So now I'm going to take this and pour it in my mold over here. So here we go. All right, so I'll get the rest of that out with my spatula, then I'll cover it up with this parchment paper right here. And then we put a blanket or a towel over the top of it and let it go for about 24 to 48 hours. We'll take the silicone out and then I'll show you how I cut it. I'm back, and the soap, after about 24 hours, has been, I've scored it and I'm ready to cut it. And what I've done is I've created like a little template, so I knew it makes 12 bars, and I just made a little template, put it on there, scored it with my handy dandy giant knitting needle. And so all I have left to do now is to cut it, which I'm going to do right now, only I will not be able to do it on camera because it's going to take two hands. There we are. They're all cut as evenly as I could. But so now what I do is I put them on drying racks, and they have to cure for 4 to 6 weeks before they get completely hard. They're still a little bit soft. And then after about, 5 to 7 days, I will put my little stamp on them. So anyway, that's the process of making the soap. So far, so good. About a week has gone by since I last videotaped, and so what I've got right now is one of the bars of soap, and I have stamped one so you can see it, because to stamp it and hold the camera at the same time will prove to be difficult. But anyway, here's one of the bars of soap. I have used this stamp right here. Where is it? I can't. Here's my stamp. And this is what one of the bars of soap looks like after I've stamped it. So it's kind of a fun little touch. I've also shaved one of the ends, not this end. Yeah, this end right here, because it had like a bit of a white, I'll show you. It has like a bit of a white film on it, so I just took a carrot peeler and just shaved that off. So anyway, I have all of these to stamp and shave, and then we just let them cure for another 4 or 5 weeks. And that's it. Here we have all of the soaps all done, wrapped up, and ready to go. So normally, I mean, this is my first attempt at soap making, and the reason that I did it is because my mom's 95th birthday party is coming up, and I wanted to have a favor for everybody, so I made all these different varieties. Plus, I thought any kind of leftovers I'd be able to give away, so I've been able to do that. So no, I don't plan on selling this. I don't plan on getting into any kind of production. But anyway, so it probably took me just as long to wrap these little soaps as it did to make them. But what I did is I used just butcher paper and some jute string. And then these are Avery business cards that I just kind of typed up a little spiel for each one. And then on the back, it talks about the cold process. So anyway, that's what I've got here. And so I've got a lavender soap. I've got a Bastille soap, Bastille is mostly olive oil. This is the Tannenbaum soap. So it smells like pine. It's got a great fir scent. This is an outdoor soap, so to keep mosquitoes and no-see-ums and stuff. It's got citronella in it and peppermint. That's an antibacterial soap. This is candy cane soap, so it smells like peppermint. It is colored with alkanet. Everything that I've got here, any kind of colorant at all, that's madder. This soap is alkanet. Any soap that I've colored has just natural powder. It's some sort of natural powder. I've used nettle. This is cinnamon. It smells delicious. This one here is coffee mocha. And it's got actually coffee in it. And cocoa is what I use to color that. This is golden frankincense and myrrh, and it smells wonderful. And you could see I packaged it with the gold ribbon because, you gotta do that. And then this is a shampoo that has no scent. I made it for my brother who has, his skin is so sensitive, but you can tell this was my first one and I was kind of impatient. You gotta wait for them to get hard, the bars to get hard before you stamp it. And I had no idea. So everything was kind of an experiment. So I learned along the way. This is a shaving bar. It's honey and goat milk. And I messed up because all of these soaps have to go through a gel phase. And so you cover them with a blanket. And when you do that, it speeds up the process of saponification and it turns it into a gel. It gets really hot and then it cools off and then the saponification is mostly done. But with any kind of soap that has milk in it, you don't need to cover it up because it will burn the milk in it. Anyway, I had to do a hot process on it, which basically you just cut the soap up, put it back into a double boiler and heat it back up, melt it, and then put it back in the form. And it's already saponified and stuff. It's just a way to save your soap. And this is an aloe and nettle herbal soap, and it has sandalwood and what's the other one? Myrrh. I'm telling you, it smells wonderful. But anyway, that's my soap.